Very good morning, students. Welcome to Gyanmajari Vidyapith Mahuva online digital platform. As you know, I am your science teacher Vatsal Trivedi. और आज हम लोग स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं बायोलॉजी यूनिट नंबर 2 वेदर विंड्स एंड सॉइल, जिसके अंदर चैप्टर नंबर 7 जो हम आज कवर करेंगे। चैप्टर नंबर 7 का नाम है वेदर। ओके, सो वेदर जो आपकी सप्लीमेंट्री बुक पेज नंबर 34 पर आप चले जाइए। Page number 34 in your supplementary book or SB page number 1, chapter number 7, weather, climate and adaptations of animals to climate. ये वाला यूनिट हम आज देखने वाले हैं। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं, वेदर एंड एलिमेंट्स ऑफ वेदर। सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टू पिक्चर्स? यहाँ पे आपको दो पिक्चर दिख रहा है, उसके बीच में डिफरेंस क्या है? सो इन केस 1 इट इज अ सनी और केस 2 इट इज अ रेनिंग। एक जगह रेन है और एक जगह सनी एटमॉस्फेयर है। So particular place can have different atmospheric condition at the different time. दोनों जगह पर अलग अलग एटमॉस्फेरिक चेंज हमको दिख रहा है। So whether it is a state of the atmosphere at a particular place and time. So what is weather? Weather is a state of atmosphere in a particular place and time. How would you describe the weather in the following pictures, place 1 and place 2? So in place 1 it is warm and sunny, and in place 2 it is cold and snowing. How does the weather is a particular place change? So different factors together determine the weather of particular place on a particular day. These are known as elements of a weather. Next, the maximum and the minimum temperature are recorded each day to describe the weather of place. कहीं भी आप देखो तो वेदर मैक्सिमम और मिनिमम दो वैल्यू के अंदर हमको दिखाता है। द अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल ओवर अ डे, अ मंथ, अ ईयर, अ मेजर इन अ डिटरमाइन इन अ वेदर ऑफ प्लेस। Then humidity, the amount of vapor presence in air which is day is recorded to the describe the weather of place. Next, wind, then cloudness and the atmospheric pressure are the other elements of that determine the weather of a given place. Wind, cloudness or atmospheric pressure, it is also one type of element of weather. So overall there is a six main elements that make up a weather: temperature, wind, humidity, atmospheric pressure, rainfall or cloudiness. Next, weather report. Where have you heard in the term weather being used? सो टीवी न्यूज़, मोबाइल फ़ोन और न्यूज़पेपर सभी के अंदर वेदर हमने वर्ड सुना होगा। हम यहाँ पे वेदर्स की बात होती है। सो वी कैम अक्रॉस द term weather in a news on our mobile phones, newspapers and in daily conversation of with people. So temperature, rainfall, wind and humidity are the four main elements of measured and recorded in a daily to create a weather report. ये चार सारी चीज को मिला के एक डेली रिपोर्ट बनता है, वेदर रिपोर्ट बनता है। Can you think why summer afternoons feel very hot and while early morning are pleasant? Because the temperature is maximum at noon and minimum during the early hours of the morning. Hence, the temperature varies through the day and usually highest during the day and lowest before the sunrise. Hence, the maximum and minimum temperature are measured in each day. How do you measure the temperature? Temperature को किस तरह से measure करेंगे हम लोग? So we measure the temperature using the called a thermometer. जो डिवाइस हम यूज करेंगे उसको क्या बोलेंगे? थर्मोमीटर. The thermometer, the temperature of place is measured in a degree Celsius or a degree Fahrenheit. Since the temperature varies through the day, it is measured using the minimum thermometer or a sixth thermometer. Now, just like the temperature, rainfall also varies. It can range from no rain to rain at certain times of the day, rain throughout the day. Hence, it is measured amount of rainfall over a day or a month and year. So, how do measure the rainfall? So, we can measure the rainfall a रेन गेज नाम के डिवाइस की मदद से हम रेनफॉल मेजर कर सकते हैं. इट इज मेजर्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ मिलीमीटर्स ऑफ रेन यानी कि एम. जस्ट लाइक द टेम्परेचर ह्यूमिडिटी ऑल्सो वेरीज थ्रू द डे. ह्यूमिडिटी भी चेंज होती रहती है. सो hence it is a measured amount of water vapor presence in air each a day. So how do you measure the humidity? Humidity यानी कि भेज. So it is measured device called hygrometer. It is expressed in gram per millimeter cube. So as a conclusion, thermometer, rainfall and wind and humidity are the four main elements of measured and record the daily create weather report. Temperature is measured in terms of the minimum temperature and maximum temperature in a day using the six thermometers. Then rainfall is measured in terms of the millimeter using the rain gauge and humidity measured in terms of uh, gram per meter cube using the hydrometer. Now solve practice question number 1.1 on your supplementary book page number 2. Difference between humidity and rainfall. So answer is that humidity measured as the amount of water vapor presence in the air each day, and rainfall is a measure as the amount of rainfall over a day, month or year. Then second is in humidity, it is varies throughout the day just like the temperature, and the other side it can range from the no rain to the rain at a certain times of the day to the raining the entire day. सभी क्वेश्चन आंसर वीडियो के अंदर जो सॉल्व करेंगे सारे क्वेश्चन आंसर आपको एज ए होमवर्क लिखकर सेंड करने हैं. डिफरेंस बिटवीन ह्यूमिडिटी एंड रेनफॉल उसके अंदर थर्ड पॉइंट, इट इज मेजर इन अ ग्राम मीटर cube and it is measured using the hygrometer, and it is measured in a millimeters of rain and it is measured using the rain gauge. Now factors responsible for the change in weather. वेदर के अंदर ऐसा क्या होता है जिसकी वजह से वेदर चेंज हो जाता है, क्लाइमेट चेंज होता है. सो द फर्स्ट इज द टेम्परेचर. The sun is the main factor of responsible for the change in weather. The intensity of sunlight affects on a temperature of place. Let us see how impacts the temperature at different places on earth. Which place have you lower temperature, A or B? कहाँ पे temperature ज़्यादा होगा? So place B have a lower temperature than place A. Place at a higher altitude have a lower temperature because there are a fewer air molecules at the higher altitudes. It is absorb the heat from the sunlight. जो हायर एल्टीट्यूड्स यानी कि जो माउंटेन एरियाज हो गए वहां पे टेम्परेचर कम रहेगा. Which place A or B will have a lower temperature? So the answer is that place B will have a lower temperature than place A. because a place at a higher latitude have a lower temperature, because at a higher latitude the sun rays strike at an angle and get diffused over the larger area. So the higher latitude of the lower the temperature. Which place will see more variations of the temperature in a day? So a New Delhi observed the more variation of temperature in a day than Bombay or Mumbai. So land absorb the more heat, so it is heats up and cools down the faster than the water. Hence, the proximity to water affects the temperature of a place. The further a place is from the sea, the more extreme its temperatures will be. Okay. सो हियर सन रेज की वजह से पानी के अंदर टेम्परेचर कम रहेगा क्योंकि वो वॉट हीट एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब कर लेगा. सो दैट्स वाई वहाँ पे पानी के अंदर एनर्जी टेम्परेचर हमको कम मिलेगा. नेक्स्ट, सो एज पर द कंक्लूजन उसकी समरी निकाला है तो एल्टीट्यूड और लेटीट्यूड, higher the altitude lesser than temperature and higher the latitude lesser than temperature and proximity to water, the place is closer to water have a less extreme temperature. यानी कि जो दरिया है, पानी के ओशन के नज़दीक का जो एरिया रहेगा वहाँ पे टेम्परेचर कम मिलेगा क्योंकि जो आसपास का जो वाटर लेवल है वो टेम्परेचर को एब्सॉर्ब कर लेता है. The temperature of a place in a terms affect the humidity, humidity, wind and air pressure of a place, as the all changes in weather caused due to the sun. Nowadays, the weather reports also come in a fields like the temperature. It is it a same the actual temperature for a different? It is difference from the actual temperature because if the factor like the wind speed and humidity so might not feel that not have a humidity day but might feel warmer than the actual temperature on a humid day. So now solve practice question number 1.1 and 1.3. Look at the table and on the right and answer the following question. Is the temperature is the same at all places listed? Answer आएगा no. Is the temperature of any particular places in the same on both days? So answer remains yes. Note the difference between the minimum and maximum temperatures of Bhopal and Leh. Why is there such as a big difference? So Leh and the much higher altitudes than Bhopal, hence it has a much lower maximum and minimum temperatures compared to those of Bhopal. Note the difference between the humidity of Kolkata and that the Delhi. Why is there such a difference? So Kolkata located in the coast on the coast where it has a proximity to water, whereas Delhi is situated in an interior. Hence, the climate of Kolkata is a more humid. If the hygrometer shows the 90% humidity, what is the changes of rain that day? So answer is that in a hydrometer shows the 90% humidity that the change of the rain on that day are high. Humidity is a measure of amount of water vapor present in air. Since the rain is a result of the condensation of water vapor presence in the air, the higher humidity and the higher the chances of the rain. ये आंसर आएगा. Now solve practice question number 2.1 on your supplementary book, page number 3. Weather is a complex phenomena. So what are the factors that determine the weather of place? So first is temperature. The sun is the main factor of responsible of changes in a weather. This is because the effects of temperature of the place based on the altitude and latitude. Next, proximity to water. Lands heats up and the cools down faster than water. Hence, the proximity to water affects the temperature in turn of affecting weather of a place. Then the other factors, the weather of a place in terms of affects a humidity, wind and the air pressure of a place. Next one, how does sunlight affect the weathers of place? So the temperature of places depends on the amount of sunlight it receives. कितनी अमाउंट पर सनलाइट उस पर पड़ती है उस पर वो डिपेंड करता है. So sunlight in turns affects on a factor such as the humidity, rainfall, etc. Next, when can you observe the maximum and minimum temperature of a day? So minimum in the afternoon and maximum in early in the morning. ये आंसर आएगा B is the correct answer. Now the next point is a climate. The average weather pattern take over the long time, say 25 years called is a climate. For an example, it is determined in a two main factors, temperature और rainfall. For an example कि हिमाचल प्रदेश का क्लाइमेट कैसा रहता है, ठंडा रहता है. क्यों? बिकॉज लॉन्ग पीरियड काफ़ी सालों से वहाँ पे बर्फ़ ही जमती है और वो एटमोसफियर वहाँ का ठंडा ही हो गया है. सो अप्रॉक्स 25 ईयर से वो उसके अंदर कोई चेंज नहीं आ रहा है, तो वो पर्टिकुलर वेदर को हम क्या बोलेंगे, वेदर पैटर्न को क्लाइमेट बोलेंगे. So mean temperature and rainfall, we can find the mean temperature of rainfall of the given month using the following step. हमको उसकी मीन यानी कि एवरेज निकालनी है. सो क्या करेंगे? स्टेप वन, वी फाइंड आउट द एवरेज एंड मिनिमम एवरेज ऑफ मिनिमम टेम्परेचर ऑफ द मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर एंड द रेनफॉल रिकॉर्डेड ड्यूरिंग द मंथ. मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर को हम उसकी एवरेज फाइंड आउट करेंगे. फर्स्ट 18 19 तो दोनों की एवरेज आएगी 17. मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर 24 26 तो आंसर आएगा एवरेज 23. रेनफॉल दोनों का 63 73 तो आंसर इज 68. We can calculate the average such as the average in minimum and the average maximum temperature over the many years, usually 25 years, for the same month. Can you find the average of the minimum and maximum temperatures of place based on the following data? So average minimum क्या होगी 17 और एवरेज मैक्सिमम आएगी 22.4. किस तरह से? सभी को यहाँ पे कितनी वैल्यू है? 5 वैल्यू है. 17 18 17 17 और 16 डिवाइड बाय कितनी वैल्यू है? 5. सो डेज जितने हैं उसके बराबर उसको डिवाइड कर लेते हैं. सो 85 अपॉन 5 तो 70 17 5 85. सो आंसर आएगा 70. देन एवरेज मैक्सिमम, सेम फिनोमिना सेम इक्वेशन यूज करना है. सभी को प्लस करके डिवाइड बाय टोटल डेज. सो आंसर इज 112 डिवाइड बाय 5. सो आंसर आएगा 22.4. देन अगेन यहाँ पे जो प्लेस बेस्ड है उसका एवरेज हमको रेनफॉल निकालना है. सो टोटल रेनफॉल डेज है वो नीचे आएगा 5 और टोटल रेनफॉल का वैल्यू 300 डिवाइड बाय 5. सो आंसर इज 60 मिलीमीटर. Now the next point is analysis of climate of different geographical location. अलग अलग अर्थ पर climate analysis को हम देखेंगे. So which of the two places receive the more rainfall and that is what is the climate? यहाँ पे श्रीनगर और त्रिवेंद्रमपुरम का जो एक नॉर्थ और एक साउथ में है दोनों का यहाँ पे रेनफॉल का डेटा दिखाया है मैक्सिमम और मिनिमम. So Trivandrum receives the more rainfall, so the climate would be wet, and as per compared Srinagar, it is climate would be dry. The daily or maximum temperature of the Trivandrum is a high for all the months in a year compared to the Srinagar, hence the Trivandrum is hotter than the Srinagar. Which of the two places are colder? So The daily minimum temperature in Srinagar is lower the all of months in a year compared to the Trivandrum. Hence, the Srinagar is colder than the Trivandrum. So, in a Srinagar, the mean temperature and the mean total rainfall are very low as the climate of Srinagar is cold and dry, and in Trivandrum the mean of temperature and the mean of total rainfall are high, hence the climate of Trivandrum is hot and wet. Now the comparing weather and climate, उसके बीच का हम compare करें, difference देखें. So the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere at the place with respect to the temperature, humidity, rainfall and wind speed etc. is called the weather at place. It is can change within a minutes or hours. Or the climates, the average weather pattern taken over the long time period, say the 25 years, it is called the climate place. And it is average weather above the so many years in a one specific place. ये वेदर है, कोई एक जगह पर फिक्स नहीं होता वो. It is varies in a particular time or minutes or hours, but specific time और periods के लिए सेम रहता है टेम्परेचर, तो उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे, क्लाइमेट. So now solve practice question number 3.1, 4, 5 and 6. So why is it easier to the predict the climate of place than to predict of the its weather? So answer is that it is easier to predict the climate of place than the predict it is a weather, because the weather is vary over the short periods of time. That means from the day to day or hour to hour, and climate does not varies as much because it is the pattern of weather observed in a over a long period of time. Next question. After the noticing a dark clouds in a sky one morning, Radha's mother suggested that the Raja's carrying umbrella. What was her suggestion based on the weather or climate? So Radha's mother's suggestion was based on the weather after the noticing the dark clouds in the sky one morning. Since weather change no a day-to-day basis the opposed to the climate, the suggestion was based on the weather. Now Sundar is going to Ladakh for a week in a December. How can they decide what type of clothing to carry on his trip? So answer is that the type of clothing to be carried depends on this climate, the place, and the climate of Ladakh is cold and dry. So surrender Sunda should carry warm clothing. The last one, create a Venn diagram on in your notebook and distinguish between the weather and climate. So आपको ये ड्रॉ करना है वेदर सिमिलरिटीज बिटवीन वेदर एंड क्लाइमेट और क्लाइमेट. देन आफ्टर नीचे सेकंड ड्रॉ करें. इट इज द स्टेट ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेरिक एंड द पर्टिकुलर प्लेस इन टाइम. सेंटर में टेम्परेचर एंड रेनफॉल डिटरमाइन द बोथ ऑफ द वेदर एंड द क्लाइमेट ऑफ अ प्लेस. And the last one, it is the pattern of weather observed at the particular place over the long period of time. So आज हम यहाँ तक रखेंगे. सो इफ़ एनी टाइप्स ऑफ डाउट प्लीज़ आस्क मी. और सभी जो क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे हमने सॉल्व किए, सारे क्वेश्चन आपको एज होमवर्क डायरेक्टली फेयरबुक के अंदर लिख के मुझे उसके फोटोग्राफ्स एज अ होमवर्क सबमिट करने कंपलसरी है. सो अभी यहाँ तक रखेंगे. नाउ वी विल मीट ऑन अ नेक्स्ट डे विथ अ न्यू टॉपिक. सो अभी के लिए स्टे हैप्पी, स्टे होम, बाय बाय. थैंक यू वेरी मच. फन विथ साइंस, एंजॉय द साइंस.